Only Murders in the Building is about three strangers who are true crime fanatics who end up getting into their own true crime story themselves. They all live in the same apartment complex, and when there is a very sudden and unexpected murder, they find themselves wrapped up in it and trying to figure out who the murderer is. And the three leads are played by Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. Now, I personally am an enormous fan of Steve Martin in particular. I will watch anything he's in. The cast was definitely the initial selling point of this show for me, because I really like Martin Short, and I grew up watching Selena Gomez in like Disney shows and stuff like that. But Steve Martin and Martin Short have both worked on several different projects together, and this is probably my favorite thing that they've done together. And I love the other stuff that they've done, but this show really did surprise me. Now, the show itself is hilarious the entire way through. Obviously, Steve Martin and Martin Short are both really good comedic actors. Selena Gomez also has really good comedic chops. But what also surprised me was that they all do a really, really good job with the dramatic side of these roles. And the show itself surprised me because the story is surprisingly compelling and really well written. And I honestly didn't really expect that. I expected this show to be kind of goofy and fun, but I didn't expect the story to be as just gripping as it was, because they do go for like an actual murder mystery, and it puts the audience in the same shoes as the main leads and trying to figure out what's going on. And like I said initially, the acting is really good. This is probably the best performance I've seen from Selena Gomez in anything. Martin Short is also fantastic in his role. Steve Martin kind of plays a straight man in this, but he is also, of course, hilarious in that role. All three of them are absolutely fantastic. And the characters are written well enough where you do care for them, and the show doesn't make them look stupid, which is, I think, a mistake a lot of comedy shows do make, is that the characters are inherently flawed and kind of ridiculous at times, but it also doesn't disrespect the characters themselves. You understand their motivations and what's going on, and you can sympathize with them. The supporting cast is also really, really good. Amy Ryan has a fairly prominent supporting role in the show, and she is hilarious. She kind of plays love interest to Steve Martin's character, and they have just this fantastic chemistry that is a lot of fun to play with. Nathan Lane is also really good in the show, along with several other people who make cameos throughout the show. And I won't spoil those here because they are fun to just kind of run into when they happen. But I do think that the direction and the writing of the show was really strong. Probably one of the best aspects of the show was that the tone was really, really well done. Because the show does take its murder mystery seriously, but it is also a very funny show. But it does a really, really good job at finding these great comedic moments that don't undercut the seriousness of the situation. So it doesn't mishmash the tones, and it finds a really, really good balance between them. So it's lighthearted, but it also takes itself seriously enough where the audience can still take the story seriously. So that aspect of it I thought was really, really well done. And this is a 10-episode season. They have been renewed for a second season, which I'm excited for, but it stays consistent. The show stays consistently good through the 10 episodes. There is one episode in particular, though, episode 7, that really surprised me because they actually have a deaf character in the show, and this episode kind of goes from their perspective, so everything is more done through visual cues. There's no actual spoken dialogue in the episode, which I thought was really cool. I love to see that in shows like this. It shows that there is a lot of care put into making the show and a lot of effort put into it and everything, and it's kind of experimental, and it also finds ways to still be funny and still be dramatic. And there is one scene in particular that is all just done with body language between Steve Martin and Amy Ryan that had me laughing really hard. And I found that really impressive, that the show could still be funny in several different ways. And I think that is the biggest strength of this show, is that even though it is really, really funny, it's also super compelling to watch. And I had a lot of fun watching the show. I think it was fantastic. I honestly really don't have any huge criticisms of the show. I think that the conclusion was sort of predictable, because you can pick up on stuff a little early on into the season, but it also was well done enough where it doesn't really bother me. It also had a really cool cliffhanger for the second season, which I was actually really into, and I am very excited for the second season. So I had a great time watching this show. I am super excited to see more of it. I love the three leads especially, and I like the supporting cast too. So I'm going to be rating Season 1 of Only Murders in the Building a 9.0 out of 10. Now, what did you guys think of it? Let me know, and I'll be back with another video.